Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to share with you all the books that I've bought over the last month and a half. So it's basically a book haul, and a majority of them have either been thrifted from in-store stores that we have around me, or from online thrift stores, or I got them on really good deal at Amazon. I'm actually going to share a little secret with you guys about how I find the best price on Amazon. And then also I purchased some books from Living Book Press, technically for next year, but also for the next 2 terms. I'll explain that in a second for this school year. So if that's of interest to you guys and you want to see what kind of books we've been purchasing lately, stay tuned. All right, so first I thought I'd start off with the Amazon books. Anything I can link, I will link down below if you guys are interested in these exact books. But so with Amazon, if you haven't heard of this, it's a browser extension and it is called Camel. I know it sounds really weird. And it's a little camel icon that you can download and attach to your Safari, Google, whatever browser that you utilize. And it is specific to Amazon products. And what it does, it'll show you the price of the product over the last month, 3 months, 6 month, year, over the lifetime of the product on Amazon. And it'll show you what the prices have been. So you can see, hey, it's at $7.64. That is the lowest it has been since it's been on Amazon. I probably should snag it right now. It may go lower at some point. You know, we don't have a future crystal ball to tell the future, but it at least shows you that you're not buying it, you know, $5 more than it was last week. So I use that browser extension tool to determine, am I getting a good deal on this? What it also does is it shows you the lowest and highest price on third-party sites. So you can compare and contrast and see if Amazon's price is even a good price. It might be a good price for that product on Amazon, like it might be the lowest it's ever been on Amazon, but you can buy it for $2 cheaper on eBay, essentially. So if I see that, then I go to bookfinder.com, I put in the ISBN number, and then I go ahead and find it on whatever website it is listed for that $2 cheaper price and determine, does it make sense for me to buy it from there, or do I have to spend $4 extra on shipping? So wait, Amazon is now cheaper. So that's a little tip on how I try and find the cheapest price for all the books that we use in our homeschool that I do choose to purchase. Other ones, of course, I just get through the library if I can, if it's available that way. So all of these items that I purchased, some of them are for next year, some of them are for this year, and some of them are for me to personally read. They were all at their lowest price, which is why I snagged them off Amazon and I didn't try and wait it out and see if I could find it in my local thrift store or online through a thrifting opportunity. So all these books are brand new and not thrifted, technically, not used. So the first one I got is for my youngest daughter's curriculum for next year, and I've heard wonderful things about this book. We are using Ambleside Online next year. My youngest will be in year 1, and my oldest will be using the year 2 track. So for my youngest, they recommend that you read James Herriot's Treasury for Children. And I've already opened this up. My youngest got a little sneak peek at it. It has the most beautiful illustrations, and I pre-read one of the stories and it was so sweet. A lot of it centers around animals. Like here's the 2 dogs playing. So my youngest is in kindergarten right now. She is so excited to read this for next year. Next up, I bought 2 Hauling C Hauling books that my oldest will be using for year 2 with Ambleside Online. And these have to do with geography and a little bit of nature mixed in. So the first one is Seabird. And if you're not familiar with Hauling C Hauling, he has wonderful stories, but also the illustrations are beautiful. And the second one is Tree in the Trail. So we'll be using these for her year 2 geography and nature. Again, illustrations are just absolutely beautiful, but the story itself is also really enrapturing. We're reading his Paddle to the Sea book this year, and the girls are absolutely loving it, so I imagine they will feel the same way about these 2 next year. Another one I snagged is the biography of Cleopatra by Diane Stanley. Just like Hauling C Hauling, there's really good illustrations in here, and the stories are really great. And we'll be using this as a complimentary picture book / narrative to read alongside our ancient history stream that we are adding to Ambleside next year. We're going to be utilizing Story of the World, Volume 1, Ancients. Now, a book I did buy that we are using this year because we're pulling some bits and pieces from Ambleside Online Year 1 into our group subjects. I went ahead and got Charles and Mary Lamb's version of Tales from Shakespeare. This is, they basically rewrote the comedies and tragedies from Shakespeare so that a child could appreciate them and understand them, and obviously take out some of the more adult tidbits. But I will tell you, the dictation and vocabulary and the way it's written in Old English, it is still very high. Even I have had to reread some of the sentences and be like, wait, that means that, and explain it to the kids sometimes. But the girls are loving it. We're using puppets along with the stories, and they're just getting so much enjoyment out of it. So it's kind of cool that my kids, I didn't think they would like it, but my kids like Shakespeare, and they're 5 and 7, so that's pretty wild to me. But we're really enjoying this version and this copy of it, and I got this also off Amazon. Now, 2 books that I got for myself, I actually got ebooks, so I've got my iPad here, because I will do, I'll click the option where I'll have something delivered to me from Amazon like a week later, because I don't need it right that second. And what it'll do is it'll give me digital credits, like, thank you, here's $3 for not making us ship it to you overnight or 2 days from now. So if you're not taking advantage of that, absolutely do it if it's something that you don't need right this second. Because then what I do is I put them towards my ebooks, and I get a lot of these free or, 75% off, because I wait for credits to add up, and then I purchase books. So the first one I got is Good Energy by Dr. Casey Means. It's all about metabolic dysfunction. This is not homeschool related, as I'm sure you could tell. I'm very interested in fitness and health, but it's about metabolic dysfunction, and about the majority of people in America, unfortunately, have some type of metabolic dysfunction. I have an autoimmune disease myself, which was, stems from having metabolic dysfunction for a long period of time, which activated it. So she talks in this book about how you can get out of metabolic dysfunction and to homeostasis and have good energy running through your body, so you are the healthiest you can be, reduce risk of heart disease, all that good stuff. So this is a really, really, really good read, and I'm really enjoying it. She's also done a lot of podcasts, so if you're interested in learning more about that, go check her out. She's just super smart, and she tells it how it is, and it's just perfect. Next book I purchased that I have not delved into quite yet, and it's going to be part of my Mother Academia track. If you're not familiar with Mother Academia, basically I am following Charlotte Mason education philosophy for my kiddos and teaching them with my homeschool. So I thought, why not educate myself? And so I've created my own kind of curriculum and syllabus and books that I'm reading, and I'm going to be narrating and doing not copy work, but writing down things that are important to me to try and further my own knowledge of academia, of literature, of how to teach my kids better, about how I can learn better. And part of that is Know and Tell, The Art of Narration by Karen Glass. I've heard this is a wonderful read if you are somebody who does Charlotte Mason with your kiddos in their teaching and homeschool. It really explains, one, how narration is important, how to do it, but really why we do it, and the importance to the child and their cognitive abilities and their dictation, their speaking, their writing, their composition. There's just so many benefits of it. So I'm really excited to read this book. Okay, next up, I'm going to share with you what I purchased from Living Book Press. You can get their books on Amazon, or you can purchase directly from their website. The benefit of using Amazon is obviously you can get the 2-day Prime if you have that, free shipping, right? If you do it through Living Book Press and you use the code that Ambleside Online provides, I think it's AO Books 10, or if you go on their website, it's on each of the year's curriculum, and it'll tell you use this code, and I'll put it down in the description, that you can use to purchase books, and you get 10% off. They also do a 20% off sale at the end of the summer, which I did not get to take advantage of. I went ahead and purchased these books off of livingbookpress.com because I wanted to take advantage of that 10% off, and I didn't need the book right away, so I was okay waiting more than 2 days to get them in. I did buy more than I needed because I wanted to get free shipping, but these are books that I'll need for next year. I'm just trying to explain to you why I'm buying so many books for next year. This is the benefit of pre-planning your curriculum a year or 2 or 5 in advance, is that you can shop deals for all the books that you will need in the future, and that way you're not forced to pay the most expensive price because you need it for the school year that's coming up right now. So this is where planning does have its benefits. So the book I actually needed for this year is Our Island Story by H.E. Marshall. This is one of the main spines for history for the first couple of years with Ambleside Online. I was going to wait till next year to start this, but my oldest will be doing year 2, and I thought, I don't want her to miss out on all the stories from year 1. So what we're going to do is the term 2 and term 3 of this year, so we do 12-week terms. I'm going to combine all of the stories from year 1 Ambleside into those 2 terms, which is not a problem because they actually, for year 1 Ambleside Online, they do a chapter every other week. So combining that into 2 weeks, you're doing basically a chapter a week. It's not even. So this won't add too much burden to my oldest's plate, but I think it's important that she doesn't miss out on this. It's about British history, which is also partially our history because obviously Great Britain impacted America's history greatly. They were very much intertwined. So I'm excited for us to read this. I started reading the first couple pages and I think it's going to be a good one for us. Now, to get the free shipping, I added on these 2 books that we'll be needing for next year. I got C.C. Long's Home Geography. We'll use this for the first 6 years and beyond when we're talking about geography concepts. And there's great illustrations in here. These are really quality books, by the way. I'm really impressed with the printing material. The fact that this is a small family business, wow, like really impressed. So great covers. Even though I got the soft cover, not the hard cover, I have no qualms about this lasting us a few years. I think it'll be still in great condition years down the road. And then the third book I got was Understood Betsy. I have heard great things about this story. I never read it personally as a child, so I'm kind of excited to read it, but I've heard it's a good one. And I'm just excited for my oldest daughter and I to read it next year. And then there's even some illustrations in here. And then obviously the following year, my youngest daughter and I will read it as her literature read as well because she'll then be doing year 2. Okay, the next stack of books that I have is from Thriftbooks.com. It's basically like an online thrift store. I get a lot of books from them for homeschooling and just for personal, frankly. I think they do a really good job of labeling if it's, like new, very good, acceptable. They really do a good job of saying this is the condition of the book you will receive. So you're able to make better decisions based on the price and what kind of condition you're gonna get. So I normally have pretty good luck with them. Now, a lot of these books are for next year. The reason I purchased them is because I kind of keep an eye on stuff and I just saw them at the lowest price I had seen for very new or like new, or very good. And I was like, oh, I just can't pass that up because I kind of keep track. Every couple of weeks, I'll pop in and see what are the prices. So I was like, okay, I'm going to snag them because I know we're going to use them. So the first 2 I got are for our ancient history stream we're doing with Story of the World. These are add-on literature reads. So this we'll do in term 2, and then the first half of term 3 we'll be reading these. We got Mary Pope Osborne's Tales from the Odyssey Part 1. And it just follows Odysseus. I'm trying to think. There's not really any illustrations in here, but there's one at the front of the chapter. But you can see it seems like a thick book, but it's big print and super fast read. And then the second I got was Tales from the Odyssey Part 2. So I think these will be a really good introduction. I think these will be a really good introduction to the Odyssey. I think it pretty much, it's all of Homer's Odyssey. So I think these will be really good for the girls at a kid level to digest that story. Next up are 2 books that I got. One because I got them for free. So the thing with thrift books is if you spend so much, you get then a free credit. And then on top of that, if you're a homeschooler mom, you can apply for the homeschooling promo code and it allows you to buy, I think it's 4 books and then you get 1 free. So I get lots of free book credit. So I snagged these because they were free. Again, they are going to be for next year and they are on the free reads list for Ambleside Online year 2 for my oldest. The first one is Mary Poppins, which I actually have never read. I've only ever seen the movie, so I'm kind of excited to read this. And the second, again, same thing, only ever seen the movie, is the story of Dr. Dolittle. So I'm kind of excited to read these for the first time with my girls. I've only ever seen the movie, so it'll be interesting to see if the story is similar or not to the movies. next up, I got myself another book, again, part of my Mother Academia series, and I'm going to do a video on that here shortly to kind of explain what I'm going to be doing. But another one is a book by Karen Glass, and it's Consider This, and it's Charlotte Mason and the Classical Tradition. So before we really delved into Charlotte Mason, I had really fell in love with classical education style, a la The Well-Trained Mind. If you've never read that book, it's a really great book. I still reference it. It's a really great read, because the reason is that the reason I like Charlotte Mason so much is because Charlotte Mason is classical. Her style of teaching is classical education. She just has her own little spin on it, and I would consider like her own little subcategory of it. And I kind of like her version just a teensy bit more. But there's some things that we do that are more, I guess, considered neoclassical. But for the most part, the majority of our schooling is Charlotte Mason style. And I think this kind of shows you, from my understanding, this book talks about both of those and how they blend together and how they're slightly different. So I am very excited about reading this because I think it'll kind of help me really solidify my style and what I want to do moving forward. And then the last two books I got from Thriftbooks are Dolores' Book of Greek Myths. This is the same author. We are going to be getting our biographies for year one Ambleside Online next year for my youngest. We're going to do Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, and then there's somebody else. I can't remember. But these are going to be so fun. This is for our ancient history track that we're doing. That's separate from Ambleside Online. The illustrations are beautiful. I've heard the stories are wonderful, but this is basically going to be our Greek, our mythology that we're reading for next year. And we'll do 1 to 2 stories every week. So we'll finish it, slowly but surely in bite-sized chunks throughout the year. So I think this is going to be really fun to introduce the girls to. And last but not least, we got one of the support books, the spine books for our biology course that I plan to teach. We're going to do elemental science biology for grammar years next year, or at least that's my plan for now. I've kind of toyed with not doing it, just following the Ambleside Online program and just doing nature as our science. But my girls really like science, and I think we'll probably do the biology, but we're going to do their 5-day schedule, so it's still short little lessons, 15 to 20 minutes a day of biology, and that should be easy for us to fit into our schedule with no problems. There's 2 other books we need. One of them we already have, and then there's another I think that I still need to get, but we've got plenty of time for that, of course. And last but not least are some books that I got from our local thrift stores. We have a lot of homeschool families in my area, so we always kind of come out with some good gems from there. So the first one, you're going to think I'm crazy, but remember, these books are either 50 cents or $1. Hardbacks are $1, soft are 50 cents, so why not? I found the Constitution of the United States with the Declaration of Independence and the Articles of Confederation in this perfect little book. Are they going to be reading this right this second? No. But will we need it? Absolutely. And this is in great condition. So we'll need this for our history as we move through elementary, middle school, and high school. So I thought this would be a great one to have. And I actually just think even without the jacket, it's just beautiful and in great condition. So why not keep it for $1? All right, and the next 2 we got are from the Who Was series. If I see any good ones that I think that the girls, it's good for them to learn about, I will snag them. I'm not trying to get the whole series or anything. I pick and choose as I find good ones, and these were in really good condition, so for 50 cents, why not? I got Who Was George Washington and Who Was Neil Armstrong. Thought those were pretty good ones for America. And then so a series that we have been searching for to try and get all the books for is the Magic Tree House series. And we have been looking for probably over a year for number 13. This is not in the greatest condition. My other ones are in much better condition, but I found it. We got Magic Treehouse, number 13, Vacation Under the Volcano. So this is about Pompeii and everything, which I kind of think is perfect. So maybe I'll recommend to my girls we read this while we're learning about Pompeii and the ancient Romans next year for our school. This one is actually going to be a book that is recommended for, I think it's Ambleside Online year 4. It's The Incredible Journey. Now this is a very old copy. It's not in the best condition, but it's It's still, the binding's still great. The pages are still great. There's just a little wear and tear right here and then on the corners, but this is, I think, from 1970. I'm not kidding. And I thought, what a great find. So this is actually, I think, what the movie Homeward Bound, I think is what the name of it is, was made from Disney. They based it on this book. And I think this is for year 4, if I'm correct. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm pretty sure this is for year 4. And so I'm excited. I found it. I was like, oh, I'm snagging that. I know we got a couple years before that, but for $1, and what a cool copy of it to have. And last but not least, we are big American Girl fans here. Nothing to do with homeschool, just the girls' personal preference. So as we find them, we snag them, again, especially for only 50 cents each. So we were able to find Josephina Saves the Day. And then we were also able to find Happy Birthday, Addie, and they were in really good condition. So that felt like a win. So we've done pretty good. I feel like I should add up everything and see how much I spent. I probably don't want to know. But I'm pretty excited about everything we found. We love thrift shopping. We love finding good deals, but we also just love finding good literature to read. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you are new to my channel, hit that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.